Let's talk with Tom McMillan, host of Meet the McMillans on Sportsman Channel and a proud resident of the great state of Kansas. Tom, how are you, sir?
I'm good, Cam. How are you, man?
I am good. Listen, I appreciate you coming on the program. I got to ask you, when you heard about these comments that this professor made there at KU, what was your first reaction?
Pity.
Pity.
I feel sorry for this guy. I'll tell you what, I feel bad on the behalf of all Kansans. These comments and even that way of thinking isn't what Kansas is about. You know, I mean, Kansas, we are the center of this country. We get up, we go to work, we pay our bills, and we take care of our families and each other. And this sort of uneducated, I don't care what kind of job he's got. He's not an educated person, evidently. This sort of uneducated hatred is most of the problem. And, you know, one thing that, as far as educational, you know, one thing I think is very important that we shouldn't do here is, you know, is fuel that anger. Mm-hmm. Like evidently he's got in his heart. He has anger in his heart towards NRA members. We should forgive this man. We should forgive him for his, you know, lack of education about the right to bear arms and what that means to us. And we should educate him and prove to him that we're better than he is.
Listen,
you know?
And you know what, Tom, you know how I know you're right? Because that's the hard thing to do.
It's the hardest thing to do. I mean, it's just. I just ask Kansan, and every Kansan that's watching or that's hearing this, we need to come together and we need to spread some education towards this type of thinking. You know, we all know in our hearts that isn't what Kansas is about. Yeah. This person, you know, and that is going to be the hardest thing and that's going to be the knee-jerk reaction to this is get mad and show him we're right. Well, no, let's take a deep breath. Let's forgive him and let's educate this person and everybody else that doesn't understand what the right to bear arms means. You know,
absolutely. Now, I will say this, Tom. I mean, it's entirely possible that this professor doesn't want to be educated.
No, yeah. I mean, he said enough time. You think he'd be a little bit more up to speed.
Yeah, but you know what? We can still use this as an opportunity to educate others because I would like to think, Tom, that there are some people out there who. Maybe they're not pro-gun. Maybe they're not pro-Second Amendment.
Right.
Maybe you know they're kind of like gun control advocates, but they hear what this guy says and they say, "Oh my gosh, that doesn't represent me."
Exactly.
Well, maybe now they'll give you the time of day. They'll listen to you for 5 minutes when and maybe they'll even ask you rather than accuse you. Maybe they'll ask you, Tom, why is this so important to you? Why do you care so much about this?
Exactly. It's not. I don't think that this topic really is pro or anti-gun. This should be anti-hate. This person has hate in his heart for innocent people. He thinks he is so radical and so twisted that he thinks that it's okay for him to profess, and that is the definition of his job. He's a professor. He thinks it's okay to, via social media, profess that innocent children should be murdered. Are you kidding me? I mean, we're not dealing with a sane person, and this isn't. It's just so, you know, such a bad representation of people from this part of the country and our values and our beliefs. It's sickening.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, Tom, he actually is from Maryland. He just teaches at the University of Kansas.
I mean, I do feel sorry for him. I feel pity for him. But more importantly than that, I feel sorry for the kids and the parents of the children that, you know, that were educated by this guy, yeah. You know, that went to his classes and were you know, in the school system when he was teaching. And let me say one thing, that I've had the chance to hunt right alongside our governor. And he is not only a great governor, but he's a great man. And I know that he isn't going to stand for this, and the University of Kansas shouldn't stand for this. I know that he's on, you know, administrative leave or whatever that is, you know, whatever that is. That's not going to be enough. You know, there's no way that this man should be able to keep his job. He's going to be putting these sick, twisted thoughts into people's heads that at a young age can be manipulated, and that's evidently what he's wanting to do. He speaks on his Twitter account, and I'm sure both of his followers will agree that he mentions assault weapons. His mouth is an assault weapon. He used social media as an assault weapon to assault innocent children of, if you're an NRA member. That's assault. You can't say that you should be murdered to someone.
Well, well, like you said, Tom, the school has him on administrative leave. I know that the school is still hearing from people all across the state of Kansas, like yourself. And listen, when the school finishes their investigation and we know what the actual outcome of this case is going to be, can we have you back on the program?
Oh man, I would love to be back on the program under better circumstances, and those better circumstances are going to be when he apologizes, so we can forgive him.
Yeah.
Because right now he's not sorry for what he said.
Nope.
He backs it up.
Yep.
So he's proven that he's an idiot twice, once for saying it in the first place, and then two for not apologizing for it. So the only time a journalist or a television news station or anything should give this guy the time of day again is when he apologizes, and then when he resigns, because I don't trust someone like this to be able to educate our kids.
Tom McMillan. Absolutely, man. Listen, I'm sorry we are late for a break, Tom, and I know that we could spend the rest of the hour talking about this because it's easy to get going when you get going on this, isn't it?
It is. If you believe in it like I do, it's easy to get going, man.
Absolutely.
Cam, I appreciate your time, buddy.
Hey, listen, thank you for everything you do. We'll talk again soon, Tom. Have a good weekend.
You too, man. Take care.